Hey guys, you're tuning into The Voice After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight it went from 11 to 10. Tune into our discussion. You don't want to miss it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Ah, she did it. She
Doesn't
did
go
it.
with the song.
Slow it.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Hey guys.
All of our viewers just left.
Any chance we had at a show tonight out the window?
We had a
disco
bunch of people
party.
in chat now.
All right, hey guys, I'm your host, Allie Bailey. Tonight we're here talking The Voice. Today it went from 11 to 10. Voice results.
11 minus 1 equals
Yes.
10.
We're also doing first grade math.
Anyways, I'm your host, Allie Bailey. You can find me on social media, AllieBailey_1. Here's my amazing panel. Where can they find you guys?
Friends, hi everyone. My name is Dani Golub. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dani Golub. Also, I'm learning how to talk today.
Sometimes she's not even where she is.
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, friends, take it away, please.
Hi
Spare
guys,
me.
my name is Brooke, and you can find me on all social media at Brooke Lacey H.
And I am Chris. You can find me at Chris Howard Live on Twitter and Instagram.
Woo! Okay, so tonight, like I said, we're talking. Last night's episode was the top 11, and tonight the results went down to 10. But anyways, we're gonna start off talking through each performance. It started off with Stephanie was the first one last night. She sang "Behind Blue Eyes." What did you guys think of her performance?
I love Stephanie.
Yeah.
I love what she stands for. I love her backstory. She's so brave, and to come this far, I really just hope that her family watching, if anything, that this has made it,
Oh, yeah.
Acceptable.
right,
Yeah.
it has
Right.
lit the fire for them to rekindle. Because I mean, that's just heartbreaking. But about the actual voice, I think she's got a gorgeous voice, really cool tone, and I think that I really commend her on her control between flipping between, like a really gravelly rock star,
Yeah, she sang
powerful.
The Who last night.
Yeah, and then but she also
She
had these
looked
moments.
great, too. She looked the part, man.
Dude,
She
I
was,
wrote that
yeah.
I could totally see her just going straight to Coachella in that outfit.
I wrote that about a few people tonight. Literally that last night. Like a few of their performances were like, "This is so Coachella." Maybe that's just because like what's in the media right now.
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
sparked my thought. I liked it. I mean, I'm always impressed when they're able to play an instrument as well. She played this on guitar, and covering the Who, especially as a woman, is a challenge. And unfortunately, she went home.
She did go home.
She was the one to leave, which was a bummer because she's such a talent, you know.
I think I really enjoyed her performance last night, and then her instant save performance tonight I didn't think was as strong
that
as
might
last
have been
night's performance. I mean, it makes sense because they're probably so the two that it comes down to are probably really nervous.
You know what I thought of when I realized she went home is she must have a really large following on the West Coast. I think because that's I feel like her vibe is very California, like Coachella-ish almost.
Yeah.
And the Californians, West Coasters don't watch during the live's Twitter save, so I feel like
Right.
she might have lost some of that.
Yeah.
They were reaching out to us. They really wanted to get her on the show before last night again.
We'd love to
we
have
just
her
couldn't
now.
do it because
We
of the
could.
right.
Yeah.
So Stephanie, if you want to come on,
Yeah.
by all means.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's such an amazing story. Okay, next was Aaliyah Molden, and we did have her on a few weeks ago. She sang "Take It Back." I'm always so impressed by her. She has such a mature voice for only being 15 years old.
Reba McEntire too.
I know. And
That's Team Blake. That's the Team Blake side coming
oh
out.
yeah, that's coming out strong. And then I know we've talked about before, her knowing how to she's very marketable for her age and
I literally
how
wrote,
she dresses.
when will she have her own Nick or Disney show?
Oh,
So
there
true.
you go.
Exactly.
True.
She came in that cute little dress and the hair.
She looked amazing.
She looked amazing. At the beginning of the song, I was or towards the middle, I was like, oh, this is fun. This is great. Just as I was writing, oh, I don't know if this is my favorite performance of hers, then she just shredded it with that ending.
I actually
Yeah.
thought the same thing. I don't know if it was my favorite performance, but what's amazing to me is that both her and Brenley, who one would think would appeal to somewhat of the same audience, just they're
on their
young,
age,
yeah,
yeah.
based on their age, have come so far together that they both stayed. It wasn't just one of them that hit that category.
Yeah.
They both went the distance because they're both great.
Yeah, and they're so different and
And-
original, I think.
I agree with you. I thought that it wasn't her best performance, but she did end so strong that it didn't surprise me that she made it into
She
the
has
top
a great
10.
stage presence too. You know what I was
Well, she
watching?
owns it.
the Radio Disney Music Awards, and one of the young girls who is going to be on That's So Raven's spinoff was actually on America's Got Talent. She was one of the singers, and so it's like they do get picked up from these shows sometimes.
You're
for big
spot on with
projects
that,
like
though. That's a great...
So I was watching and I was shocked to see her there. I was like, wow, that's amazing that she got picked up, and I could totally see Aaliyah getting picked up on something like that because she's such a young, fresh face and has such talent.
And she got spunk.
Yeah, I mean, her stage presence, she was like working the audience. She was great.
Right.
And which is crazy too, because she was talking about when she was in here that she gets a little bit nervous, and each week I think she's getting more and more comfortable on the stage.
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely.
Next we had T-Soul. He sang "Lay Me Down" by Sam Smith. I loved his performance. He literally laid down on the stage. I couldn't believe that.
Okay, how did you guys? Before I talk about the laying down portion, when it started with that piano,
That was the cool part.
I absolutely love that song.
Me too.
When Sam Smith sings it, and so I was like, ooh, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, but I love that version even more.
I absolutely loved
I
it.
thought it was amazing until he laid down on the ground, and then I was a little like,
Too much.
I was just like, I mean, he was clearly comfortable hanging out down there. But I also thought that was a really risky move because when you're laying down and then you can't sing as well, and he did sacrifice the voice a little bit because it didn't seem as supported, but naturally so. You're laying down and then you're doing a sit up to get up. So
See, what do you think about, though? I think he does way too many runs. He's all over the place. Like, right out the gate, it just de-emphasizes it. And all I wanted to do was hear his pure power of his voice, because when he opened up, he's so beautiful on the piano.
He's so talented.
Yeah.
And he's got that voice, but he hides it almost behind the runs because there's so many of them.
No, I agree with you in that point.
Yeah.
Like, I do think he shows a lot of tricks, and I don't know if that's...
It doesn't appeal to me for that reason.
It doesn't appeal, and I don't know if he does that for the show purposes of competition of like, you know, let me show you all these that I can do, or if he is always that.
You know what I noticed? I was listening to some of these on iTunes, like the iTunes kind of preview.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he doesn't do as much on iTunes as he does live.
See,
I think it is for the
Interesting.
live effect because the iTunes is all pre-recorded. They like do it in a sound booth.
Well, and I wonder, like if he
they
wasn't
all sound
in
a little bit different than they do recorded.
But but it doesn't do the job of, if he thinks it's to impress in the live, it doesn't do that for me. It does the opposite, because I'm not a big fan of T-Soul. I mean, he's what I do.
I love Tonight.
I think he's a great artist. I mean, Sam Smith is awesome. He hit the notes, but I wanted to hear the purity of the voice, and I just kept getting these runs all over the place.
Yeah.
It was
See,
like,
I guess it's more of like, as a fan, are you focusing more on, it is about the voice, but it's also about the performance too, and I think he's maybe looking at it like, I need to show everything I can give because he is a really great performer.
right.
I also think T-Soul has a bit of security in the fact that he already has such a huge following.
Yeah, he does.
You know,
Yeah,
so
he may rely on that even more because his people love it.
yeah, but not
His
just,
T-soldiers.
yeah, his soldiers. But yeah, that's how I
Okay,
thought about it.
next we had, oops, let's turn the page here. Lily, which she looked beyond beautiful.
Probably her best performance, I think.
I think so too. She sang "Town Without a Pity." What did you guys think about Lily?
Oh, I mean, the dress was gorgeous.
Yeah,
she looked beautiful.
She was also a lot healthier this week than she was last week.
Yeah,
Thank
which
God,
is good,
yeah.
good news.
Yeah.
My thoughts with Lily, from the beginning of the season, she was never somebody that stood out to me, and then now she's come on my radar, and I think it's nice to have a voice that is not all trills and runs,
Right.
especially following Jay Chosen. It's nice that she can just stand and walk
T-Soul.
around the stage. Oh, what did I say?
Jay Chosen.
Oh, oops, sorry.
That's right.
All the letters, all the
Yeah, T-Soul, Jay Chosen.
but
I'll
it's
be
nice.
D Golub from now on.
D. Golub.
Golub. But it's nice for her to be able to just walk on a stage and command the attention without, I think she's got a really cool, almost like an old soul type vibe to her.
It's very jazzy.
Very jazzy. Also kind of like Lana Del Rey, Amy Winehouse, kind of like, I can see, because that's in right now, especially here in LA,
Right.
I feel like,
Yeah.
They found her thing, but I think there's too many real standout artists for her to really shine at this point, because now we're getting down to just a few.
Yeah,
and
I don't think she'll be like
you don't
top
Final four.
I don't think she'll be
Right.
Final
But
Four, but
I thought she did a really good job of putting her own spin on this song, because I think it was one of the ones that did better on the iTunes, which is what really matters for this,
Sure.
this time of the lives with voting and stuff. So
Yeah.
I was really impressed with her song choice and how well she performed.
Yeah, my only thing with Lily, and I say this week to week with her, and I don't know maybe if it's just the songs she's choosing or the way she's singing them, but I feel like it's like a nightclub performance, or like last week I felt like it was like a karaoke a little bit. Like I don't feel like she's as in touch with the music as some of these other artists are. Like T-Soul, I know the Laying on the Ground was like a bit dramatic, but like I feel like he was like really in and emotionally connected to the song,
you're right.
whereas
Yeah.
I feel like Lily is a little bit disconnected, and it's more of a performance, and it feels very showy.
Like very theatrical.
Very theatrical. And
But
this
even
performance
afterwards-
felt very Broadway almost.
Yeah.
You know, which is great, but I don't feel as connected to her as an artist, and I think maybe she has slipped through the cracks a little bit in our minds in terms of like being a fan of her.
So you're not believing it as much as some
As
of the
much
others.
as it doesn't like transcend through the TV. Like we'll talk about Hunter's, but like I was like actually in tears with Hunter's performance.
Right.
We'll talk about him next, I guess. But yeah, this I didn't like emotionally connect the same way. I did.
No, I completely agree. I
Yeah.
think she's beautiful and she's a
Definitely
joy to
talented,
watch and
yeah.
talented, but she's not somebody that I just go, wow, like she's
So it
gonna-
kind of falls flat without that big emotional connection.
But it's weird because I agree with you, but at the same time, I'm not surprised that she's moving on
Oh, me
each week
either.
right now,
No,
I still think
Right. I mean,
very
she's a
well
full
deserved.
package. She's beautiful. I mean, that has to help with the voting.
Doesn't hurt. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so next, like you said, we have Hunter. He's saying "All I Want." I mean, we talk about Hunter every week. He just keeps
Love.
getting better and better. I
love
like
him.
He's it.
I'm such a Hunter fan.
Same.
I want him to win. I think he's the
Me
best.
too.
I
Yeah.
have a big old star next to him because at the end of every week I always go through and I'm like, what am I, like, has my ranking changed at all? And he's still at the
He's
top
saying,
of my,
he's
like,
saying "All I Want," which is not an easy song either.
He's just, and he hits those falsettos, those highs, like he just goes back and forth. It's like, son of a bitch, this guy's good.
Wait, you said like you felt like you could have seen Stephanie in her outfit at Coachella. When I heard this performance, I was like, Hunter should be performing at Coachella.
Yes. No, and
I was like, I would pay to see this guy sing. Like,
No,
that's when
absolutely.
you get to that point, you're like, he seems like he is already good enough to be selling.
But isn't that
thousands of
true?
records.
Who else? Is there anybody else on the show this season that you'd pay
No.
to see sing?
I honestly think
Yeah.
I didn't realize it until this week. Like, he is my standout.
Right.
Like, I honestly think it would be amazing if Gwen won. I think they're such a cool pair together that now this is like my number one pick.
Also, I just love that even though when he performs, it's like this Grammy performance or
Yeah,
this
it
like
is.
huge star, he still has this humility and like
The
he's so
humility,
humble. And I feel like
Yeah, he's quiet.
he's quiet and he's not somebody that you would pick out and be like, oh, he's like a, he's a showstopper
star,
man.
Just
right.
reminds me of Ed Sheeran in that sense.
Yes.
Like Ed
Yeah.
Sheeran's like kind of like a quiet, like
Right.
reserved dude. Maybe
Well,
not like the hottest guy or not the like biggest guy, but he's like got
Yeah.
the talent.
Yeah, and he can do the littlest thing and you're like,
And he's appreciative. He seems like a nice guy. Ed Sheeran's like that too. He's a
Yeah.
nice guy, you
Yeah.
know. And yeah,
Hunter brings something to the show that like I haven't seen before, and I really like that
true.
because a lot of the contestants that get towards the end are like that country
And the show's
theme.
been on for so long. It's like on season 12 already, and it's hard to reinvent the wheel all the time. But Hunter is something totally different.
It's almost like it's refreshing to see someone like
I
that,
completely
and
agree.
I like you said, I'm such a fan, and I hope he
Yeah.
really continues on.
there's something about just the haunting sound of that. It's like I think for some reason like a haunting blue falsetto that just
Yeah.
pierces your soul, and it's like
blue.
I don't know why I say blue, but that's what I get in my
feel like-
head.
okay.
But a haunting blue falsetto that pierces your soul and just guys you go, fuck.
These are some fancy words this evening.
The new trending hashtag, haunting blue.
Blue falsetto.
Hashtag it.
Okay, next we had Vanessa. She sang "Diamonds" by Rihanna that we played in our open.
She is so cool.
This is good.
Okay, I honestly think Vanessa just like won me over this week because in the past I found her to be kind of cold and like not really
Off-putting.
warm. She was smiling. She got up. Someone must have coached her like
Yeah.
really well. If I
Alicia
don't-
does it all
I
the
don't know if
time.
it was
She's always
Alicia,
saying
but,
things,
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, she was smiling more. It was a better song choice. You saw her on the piano. You saw her interacting.
But did you think that this was a good song choice for iTunes? Because it is a
don't know.
popular song.
I don't know. 'Cause
I mean, I'm
That's
a
a good
little
point.
over the song only because it's been played so many times.
Right.
She also didn't do it too different from Rihanna.
Right.
That's what I was thinking when I was listening and watching. Was like I was thinking are people on iTunes going to want to buy her version? And I didn't think that she did enough to change it. I thought it was a great performance, but not enough to change it to where people are going to want her version.
You guys have pointed out the strategy thing. I didn't even think about that before, but there's a lot of strategy to that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But she talking about the full package and performance and just her style. I mean, whoever is dressing her is just like
awesome.
nailing it. That hat, that outfit. I mean, I would totally wear it. I wouldn't pull it off the same, but
The suits, yeah.
so cool. And I just love.
Oh, come on. You'd pull that off very well.
I wouldn't turn it down if they needed to recycle it. But yeah, I think she's got star presence and she's you know, I know in the beginning I said that she came across to me as a little cold and a little too sure of herself, but obviously I shouldn't give that blanket statement because I don't know her personally, and in this industry, you know, I know you need to. It's having that confidence will definitely get you
Right.
You know, get you places.
Yeah.
So she's grown on me, and I think I could see her over other performers being.
Yeah,
I could see her in the top 4 or 5. I can't see her winning. I think.
Yeah, me
No, I don't think she'll win. But
I think that I see a lot of their social media following and who's active, and she's definitely one of the ones that's not as active with her fans and followers, and I think that that's definitely something that's going to come into play when it goes to
It's an
8
extension
and
of her
then 8 to
personality, though,
4.
too.
Yeah,
So,
because I mean, you have to have the fans engaging in you and liking you, and not saying that fans don't like her, but there are other artists that are way more engaging with their fans.
Who would you say is the most from what you've seen?
I mean, I think T-Soul is. I think Lily is.
Mark is, for sure.
I think Mark,
Eric.
Lauren.
Marcus, yeah.
And even Aaliyah.
Aaliyah,
comments back.
Brenley.
Yeah, the younger
Aaliyah
one.
rocks it. She's
Yeah, she
always
does.
on
She's
there. She's
always
like,
on social media. Yeah, I see them all, and like even on like platforms like Snapchat and stuff too. They're very
right.
active.
They're
you
working
know?
it, working it.
They feel like it's more personalized.
That's where the kids have an advantage, right?
yeah, right.
They know how to do everything. Next, we had Lauren. She sang "Somewhere in My Broken Heart." We've talked very highly of Lauren each week. I definitely think she's going to be in the final 4. I mean,
Amazing,
she
yeah.
blew
Me
this
too.
away.
Do you really? See, I'm the opposite.
I do.
Really? Oh, see, I think
I'm
she's
with
like
him.
the full country package. She's
Yeah.
got the look. She's got
Totally.
the sound. She literally looked like a young Carrie Underwood the other.
Yeah, and
last
she has
night.
Blake as her coach.
And we
She's
got to
a
remember
perfect
that a good
package.
portion of the country is going for the
Yeah.
country is going
I think
for the
she's
country.
a safe choice, but to me, she's no different than like there's nothing stand out about her to me. Like she kind of
agree, but it's like the country factor. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest country fan, but like if I had to pick a country artist right now, like she would be the one.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
At what point do you
agree.
think that Brenley and her are going to start getting
They
split?
must already, but it's still we're getting rid of one at a time right now. That like you won't really notice. But I
notice.
think when it comes
I
down
would
to
place
the final
Brenley
4,
right underneath her. I would think
see, I
Lauren
like
has the
Brenley
edge.
better. Just
I-
because
yeah.
I feel like Brenley. I just feel like she connects especially for her age. I feel like there's more of a hunger and a connection there. Not that she has the life experience connection, but
Right.
I don't know.
I mean,
There's
they're
something
both
about
young, you
yeah,
know
they're
what I
both
mean?
young, but I don't know. Lauren is kind of. I really liked her in the beginning, but she's kind of fallen off my radar.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, with like, if we're comparing the two, I think that just comes down to like artist to artist. Though, like I could connect with Coldplay more than you do. Like I connect with
Right.
Lauren
Yeah,
more than
yeah,
I
yeah,
connect
totally.
with Brenley, and
Right.
vice versa. So,
I love Brenley's personality though.
It's
She's just
so
cute
cute,
and
Lauren.
Yeah.
gracious and
But yeah, I don't know. I thought Lauren, this Billie Dean performance was
I thought it was stellar.
full package
Yeah.
for country.
Agreed.
I agree. Next was Mark. He sang "How to Love" by Lil Wayne. I thought that this was a great song choice for him. He was really able to show his voice and how great of a singer he is. Because remember we were talking last week about One Dance, and that was a Drake song, so it was definitely a little bit
This was
different.
Lil
but
Wayne.
yeah, I know.
I think this is like his thing, like taking the rap songs and turning them into R&B, and like from what I've realized and from what I've seen with his like minor struggles these last couple weeks with pulling votes, I like had this epiphany today that Mark should be doing this on YouTube, and like he'd be pulling tons and tons
Yeah.
of views. This is such like a YouTube thing that would do so well on
Totally.
YouTube, like taking rap songs and turning them R&B, whereas I don't know how well that works for like
Voice.
America voting
But
and like The Voice.
No, I see what you're saying, but I don't understand how he's in the bottom every week.
I don't
Yeah,
get it.
he's got a great
This is,
voice.
yeah,
He's
we're
got
saying this is similar to Aaron Gibson from last season. Like, why was Aaron in the bottom?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Happened.
And Mark has a huge following,
He does.
fans and everything. I don't understand.
I love the song, but the only thing I would say for at this stage in the competition, feel like it's a little repetitive as far as like
Could be.
I didn't
That's
One
think
trick
true.
pony.
there wasn't there's not. I mean, Lil Wayne's not a singer. I love Lil Wayne, but he's not a singer. Like, I don't think that the song was created to really showcase. And then I did think that it was especially towards the end, it seemed to be like right at the top of his range, because there were some points where I felt like it was a little shaky and like he was pulling a bit. But do you guys know the new taking it to the Beebs? Do you know the new Justin
Despacito?
Yes.
Love.
I was listening down the way here.
I love
What
that
are you guys
song.
talking about? I
Hey,
have no
Mark,
idea.
you should
We're talking about
cover
Justin
that.
Bieber.
I want
Oh,
Mark
jeez.
because I think that
Genius.
Mark
Someone call Mark.
I think
Okay.
Mark is the like younger, like sexy Latino
He's
version
Latino, yeah, that would
of
be...
Justin Bieber,
Oh my God.
and so if he did that song, I would just
Let's
faint,
get that going.
and I would possibly.
Someone tweet him, because that is the best idea anyone's
Isn't
had
it?
all day.
Isn't
There's just a little bit of time left. We should tweet him.
Honestly, that would be a good idea too, because that song is popular right now. But I think if he twisted it to be more
could do it
R&B
different.
rather than like pop and like,
Yeah.
because that song is very like pop salsa-ish. Whereas if he took it and made it like R&B, and I think he speaks Spanish. Does anyone know? Does he speak Spanish?
I don't know.
You'd
I
have to
mean,
learn it for the song.
If he
doesn't,
learned it,
Oh, that would be very
you have a
sexy
week
if he
to
did
not
that.
only
Yeah.
learn
a
Spanish, if you
multilingual
don't.
man. He's too young. He is too. Anyway, I can't be talking about it.
When you three just went crazy over Justin Bieber, it was like
I am not
really.
crazy with Justin Bieber. I
Oh,
love
I
that
am.
song.
I'll totally
I
admit it.
am.
I wrap
No.
my Christmas presents on Justin Bieber having people.
Okay, I'm not that far. But
I don't like
No, I
Justin
do it. No, I
Bieber,
do
love
it
this
because it
song.
makes everyone cringe and they know it's from me, and it's cheap. It's at the dollar store.
It made me cringe just hearing it.
This song.
No, I
is
do it
really
as a
good.
gag. Like,
Oh.
it's like
Promise.
him at like 12 years old. Like, it's more because then I don't have to buy like Christmas cards. Everyone knows who it's from.
Should I tweet at Adam or should I tweet at Mark telling him to do Despacito?
No,
Both.
let me tell him.
Okay.
We did both.
Well,
you're gonna
someone will
We don't
tweet
brand
Mark
separately.
And
Give a song
Adam-
for you.
the songs
Oh, I
for
want Mark
next week.
decided, but we'll
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 ask
figure it out.
Johnny. We'll text Johnny and ask Johnny. Hey, tell Mark.
I think
and then
I think we'll be better off just getting it through to him our
Allie
own.
works with them at work sometimes. So maybe she can
Maybe
slip
we'll
a
see.
Okay.
note.
We'll see. Anyway, okay.
Pass
Next,
a note.
next we had Jesse. He sang
Beardy
"Human."
McGee.
Beardy, you guys, I'm the worst. I can't
She literally wrote Beardy McGee in her notes.
because we're on the top 11 and I can't remember his name. If this does not say something about
That's
either my
actually-
memory or his.
I know what
his
you're
place.
saying, but like, don't. I just feel like Jesse
definitely
is going
appeals to-
far.
he does
He is.
appeal to
Going
middle
far in this
America.
competition.
He's saying
Yeah.
human.
Because of the Sundance
Yes.
head effect.
I was
right?
upset because this is my jam. I
song?
love this song, and I have this like I was just waiting the whole time for there to be that moment where he just like gets into it, and for me it wasn't there, and I was
It
a little
went no
bored.
place for me. I couldn't believe that they were saying how great the song is, and this was
Yeah, it
such
wasn't
great.
my
Great
best
song,
one.
no?
Like,
Wasn't
and
my
Jesse, and I think Jesse's an incredible singer, but it just went no place for me.
Yeah.
And
Last week was so much better.
yeah, you know, the only thing I don't like about him is because now I've grown to appreciate his voice, but his song choices just totally leave me flat. I would never listen to him on the radio, and
No,
so
but
I've
listen
had
to that one because it is a good jam.
Is it?
It's a good workout jam.
I'm just saying for Jesse, like I would not listen to the choices he's
Yeah.
picked, so I'm not. He's not in my top anything anymore. Even though I think he's got a lot of talent.
Yeah, I don't think that he's gonna make it into that finale with the final four, but I don't know. Actually, I think he'll go farther than we think.
I think it depends what song choice he picks
yeah.
next week.
Yeah, and how it goes each week. But I do think that he appeals to a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
the voice audience. Next was Brenley. She sang River. We talked a little bit about Brenley already,
Mitchell.
but
That
The
was neat.
Joni Mitchell song.
That was neat.
how did you think this performance was?
What'd you think, Brookie?
You know, I touched on it a little bit a few minutes ago, but like I first of all I loved her outfit. She looked beautiful.
You like the dress?
Well, for her, I
I
wouldn't
was
wear
gonna say,
it.
and I think it's a little heavy though. It's like summer. I
thought
thinking,
that too.
I was like, it's 80 degrees outside in LA, and she's in this like long black thick dress.
I
was
know.
like, everyone else is in these like strapless like airy dresses, and she's in this like cloak.
Yeah,
It
that
made
is
her look
true.
a little bit older
Older
too,
than
which
she
I don't
was.
know
I
if
think that's
that
what I
worked.
like.
Maybe that's what you liked about
Yeah,
it.
her and Aaliyah appeal to that younger crowd.
Yeah, true. I just think, regardless of, take the outfit out of it, I just think that she's got so far to go, and I really, if she's this connected right now, you know, I'd
She's
love
gonna be
to.
a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and I just think she's the sweetest little thing, and I don't know. For me, I enjoy watching her. I don't think she'll be in the top 4. I mean,
Brenley? You don't think? I don't know. I could see it.
It depends.
I wouldn't be
really depends on
surprised.
Not my
I
top. If
wouldn't
it
be
were up to
surprised.
me, if it
Same.
were my top 4, no. But I wouldn't be surprised if she's in America's.
She
top
has the Emily and Roberts effect. I don't know if y'all watched then, but like,
Yeah.
she was season 9, I think. Jordan Smith's season, yeah, which like she wasn't gonna be Jordan, but Emily came in second place, so.
Yeah.
I mean, Brenley's, she's beautiful. She's gorgeous inside and out.
Yeah.
There's just something magic
You want to
about this
hug her.
girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's cute.
I love what she said when she's just like, well, I don't know. I just let God do it and I get out of the way. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, same.
You just kind of melt.
That's why I look like this today.
Okay.
Saying that's what you say every night before we start, right?
Yeah, like, I'll just like Jesus take the wheel on this one.
All right. Okay. The last
Church at AFTERBUZZ.
the last performance from last night's episode was
That's
Chris
so Danny.
Blue. He sang "When a Man Loves a Woman." I think that this was a perfect song choice for him, and he has such a great range and an amazing voice, and he's a performer.
Yeah, and I thought that for a song that is very well known and very often played, I thought he made it his own, but by still keeping it to the basics. And I love him. You know, it wasn't. I didn't think it wasn't my. 2 weeks ago was my favorite of his so far. When it was, what theme was that? I just remember. You know what I'm talking about when he had like
He had a
little bow tie on.
He
yeah.
had "Love on the Brain." Was that the one that?
Yes,
That was a really good one.
I loved that. Yeah. So
I love this performance here tonight.
yeah, I loved it too. It wasn't. I just out of all of his, it wasn't my favorite. But
See, what I liked when I compare him now to T-Soul, I loved that I could hear him singing without all the covering it up with all the crap.
He kind of reminds me of John Legend a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I could
Sound.
see that.
Like when I was like closing my eyes a little bit while listening, there were certain runs he had that were very like almost like airy, similar to John Legend's voice, and like wispy kind of, and can do things with his voice that not
Maybe even
many
better than
people
John
can.
Legend. I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. I'd say
No?
comparable to John Legend.
Okay,
It's
sorry.
interesting when you.
Whoa.
It's
He's
really
like an Oscar or Grammy-winning artist.
That was
he's
blasphemy.
up there, but
No, it's really interesting that when you listen to some of these artists and you close your eyes and you're not watching them, how the performance has a little bit of a different effect on you. That's happened to me a couple times. Like with Stephanie, when I'm not watching her because she's such an intense singer and performer, when I'm just listening, I'm more impressed than when I'm watching. Do you guys feel
Well,
like that
her
ever?
physicality can detract from
Yeah,
her
it gets a little
performances. Yeah, for
distracting.
sure. Yeah.
So, anyways, okay, so then tonight's episode, the results, it came down to the instant save between Mark and Stephanie. And Stephanie sang Issues, Mark sang 7 Years. I was more impressed with Mark's performance for this instant save than I was with Stephanie.
I mean, you weren't alone. He was saved.
I know. But also too, I mean, the save.
Sorry, I don't know what's happened to me tonight.
Danny is
No,
giddy.
I know.
Take me out of this scene, I act savage.
No, I actually like it. I'm like, shoot, you should sit there more
did you
often.
agree with me?
You're-
Did you agree with me?
Well, I just really don't like the song Issues. So I have issues with the song
With
Issues.
Issues.
It honestly annoys me every time I hear it on the radio. I turn it off. So like, it's like, ugh.
You're like the
could
kid who
listen to
throws erasers at the teacher in the classroom when you're over there.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I thought Mark's was better. I think Mark has proven to be really good under pressure. You know what I mean? Like
Stays
last
calm.
week and this week, like he didn't seem panicked, and he wasn't like I feel like, you know, you see like Aaliyah and Brenley both look like they're gonna throw up when they're
Right.
standing up there waiting for the results, and they're like around the same age as him, and I feel like that's how I would look. But he just like keeps it together and like gets up there and does a good job and does what he's supposed to do. And obviously he's qualified to be there because he keeps getting saved. It's similar to Aaron. Aaron was very level-headed through that whole like literally 4 weeks in a row last
I
year.
wonder if, because I host for Dancing with the Stars, and last 2 weeks there's been like a really shocking two of the
Heather Morris.
Yes,
Oh,
went
gosh.
home, and
Terrible.
we
With
were
the perfect
discussing.
score.
Yeah, we were discussing. Sometimes I think America is just like, oh, he's so good.
think
He
they're
doesn't
good.
need my votes.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah, wow.
just I think you.
The Hillary Clinton effect.
Oh Lord, she's on fire this evening.
You are, man.
I'll be doing stand-up later.
That's your seat.
We'll actually be going on Instagram Live after to keep these Danny comments.
I would totally come watch you if you could totally do stand up. I would come watch you.
Yeah, you got a snarky
You gotta
kinda-
find her in the right mood.
One ticket
Yeah.
sold.
That's so funny. Well, I have one friend, and she tells me that I'd be great at stand-up, so maybe one day.
Well, now you have two.
2 friends.
Guys,
Thank you for the support.
Half, 2 and a
Okay,
half.
2.5. I'll take it.
Okay,
No
okay.
comment.
Yeah, I don't know.
No comment. Yeah.
Black to Planet
Still
Earth.
up in the air for Allie, but
I don't know. We'll see. Just kidding. Okay, what did you guys think about the instant save?
So I think that the song "Issues" doesn't match. It's not. I actually like the song, but I don't think it matches her voice, Stephanie's voice. I feel like Stephanie has too heavy of a voice for that song. So yeah, I didn't think that it was a good song. I'm also not a fan of the song 7 Years, even though it was nominated for like every award
I think it was
under
just
the
because it's
sun.
overplayed.
Yeah, yeah, I think
It
that's
killed it for me. 'Cause
Yeah.
I used to like it. Now I don't either.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of my choice between the 2 artists overall, and I tend to lean toward Mark Isaiah. I think he's got something where I know somebody would listen to it.
Yeah, it's just hard
know?
because I loved both of them. Like I
I did
really
too.
Yeah.
thought that Stephanie.
I-
thought
yeah.
Stephanie was gonna be. For me, she's one of my favorite female, or was one of my favorite female talents on the.
I think Mark has like that inexplicable it factor.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, which like is like even if he doesn't have like the strongest performance, it like holds him on by that thread because he has that like it thing that's that inexplicable.
There should be-
You don't
And he
know what
also
it
just
is.
There's an
feels-
audience for him. He should, if they can always throw him in a boy band if nothing works out.
Yeah,
You
he
know?
could be like a One Direction type.
Yeah.
Well, and I think he just
Sure.
appeals to a lot. Like he's still young to where the younger girls are gonna love him, but then he's old enough to where we can obviously acknowledge that like.
Well, he's showing
got
his
something
maturity
going
with
on.
how calm he is, and he
Right.
can handle the
But
pressure.
see, still goes back to why the heck aren't people voting for him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
But it's
because you would
interesting.
think.
So
I mean,
do you think that for these instant save performances, no matter who's in the bottom 2, that the performance really matters? Or is it just the fans voting?
I don't know. Like we were talking about before, we've kind of got to the point where we're just choosing the artists that we like, you know, more so than any individual performance.
What's funny is that like when I find out who's gonna be in the instant save, I like almost just like I'm ready to vote before
right before you've
I
even seen the
know.
show.
Like I'm
Right.
ready. Like I know that I love
Based off of.
X, Y, and Z people. Like if Hunter was in the instant save, you'd see me with like 4 phones
Oh yeah,
out.
I'd be
Right.
like.
Because I love him. I'd be like, what happened? You know what I mean? So I think that people love Mark and just are turning up for him in that time period. I just don't know where they are.
See, I'd put Mark probably in my top 4 or 5
So
right now.
who are everybody's top 4?
I think, I for sure have Hunter,
Agreed.
Chris Blue, consistently in my top, Lauren, and I think Lily and Mark are both in my top. Lily I haven't said before that the other ones I've said that they've been in my top each week, but Lily is growing on me a little bit, and I think that she'll make a good run.
I'd say mine are Hunter, Chris Blue, Lauren, and the last one's a little more of a toss-up. I could throw Aaliyah in there because I think that she's got the young thing, but it's different than Brenley and Mark, and you know what I mean? She's a little bit more unique. I don't think she'll necessarily beat someone like Hunter, but I think she's got top 4 potential. I really do, and I think she's showing up every week, and she hasn't been in the bottom 2 before, you know, so people are obviously voting for her.
she's
She has
got a
decent-
fan base, yeah.
She definitely has a fan base, and I think she appeals to a really wide audience. I think adults look at her and be like, wow, she's a talented kid. Kids look at her and be like, she's young, I like her. You know?
couldn't you see her doing like musical theater, all
Oh, I
sorts
could
of
see her
things?
being
She's
on
gonna
Broadway.
be
Like,
Broadway,
she's got a very wide, you know, appeal. So I
Right.
could see her going far. I haven't said that before either. That's kind of a new toss-up wild card for me this week, but she's just consistent, you know, and Blake seems to really like her, and
Which I love about this season. Like, I feel like in previous seasons, there's kind of been that one that everyone kind of knows is going to win. And this year, I mean,
no idea.
these last 10, they're all great. And I don't know.
My money's on Hunter,
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So-
Who you got?
Hunter for sure, Mark Isaiah, and not Mark for he's got an incredible voice, but I think he more so just for the whole package. I want to say Chris Blue, and then between Vanessa or Aaliyah.
I feel like they're like putting Chris up to win, sort of. They're putting him on that, like,
Put him at the end.
putting him at the end, giving him the big show value, you know, like the bright red suits. Like, I feel like
We,
they're
we
kinda-
said this last year. Remember when
did.
who was heading toward the win? It was the person that they were playing last. Well, I guess Sundance won last year, right?
Sundance won last year, but they always do that. I feel like they kind of start.
They were building
they
him
do
up.
it with Allison Porter. Like, she was
Starts
always.
Right. That's what the one I was thinking
Allison
of.
actually performed her new song tonight on tonight's
Yes.
episode. But
Yeah.
yeah, regardless, I kind of think that they're like. They see a lot of potential in Chris Blue, and they see a lot of people are voting him, so they're like kind of putting him in that spot. But I don't know if he's like I mean, Hunter went towards the beginning. I don't know. It's hard
It's
to
different
say.
each week.
See, I'll tell you, like, I think Hunter's going to win number 1. I will probably put Lauren in number 2, Mark Isaiah probably in number 3, and I think Brenley would probably be in there as well. So that's what I think. Yeah.
It's funny that we all have like Mark in the top, but like he keeps getting in the bottom.
Yeah, I know. That's
And you all love Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even personally connect with Lauren that much. I just know that everyone loves her.
Exactly.
I agree with
know.
Danny, exactly.
I feel like her and Jessie will, and maybe even Brenley can have. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up in that mix just because they appeal.
Oh, and
I
Vanessa's
know.
going to end up in there too. She'll end up in the top 5 for sure, I think.
Which it's crazy between the 4 of us. I think we named almost
Almost the
everyone in
same,
the
yeah.
10, which makes it so exciting.
No, nobody said Jessie. Thank God. Sorry. Those
I
were-
mean,
those were-
I think he's not one of my favorites, but I think
but
he'll
yeah.
go far.
No, I don't think anyone said T-Soul.
T-Soul's lose. I was a big fan, and I am kind of like.
But lying down, like, see, if he stayed behind the piano all night long, that would have been perfect.
Lily
because he
and
was doing so well.
Lauren kind of.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right, well, thanks, Voice fans, for tuning in to our after show tonight. I'm your host, Allie Bailey. You can find me on social media, AllieBailey_1. Danny, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dani Golub, and you can find me at a comedy store near you.
If you want to keep hearing the jokes, follow her Twitter. Maybe she'll tweet some
No,
out
I don't
tonight.
tweet. Instagram.
Oh.
I post great funny things.
You guys can find me on all social media at Brooke Lacey H.
And find me on Instagram, Twitter, at Chris Howard Live.
Thanks,
Bye, guys.
Ciao.
Next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.